All right, guys, welcome back to the stream. Let me get chat going. I sent an direct text to uh, El Jefe. We'll see if he wants to jump on or not and has any opinions about the title. I already did a video where I kind of touched on this, but I like doing live streams that have the same kind of theme as a video, mainly because they're more interactive. And that means if somebody deeply disagrees with this opinion, they can come on and be like, no, I disagree. And then I can ask them why. And we can hear their side of the view, their point of view. Now, they'll be wrong because the reality is if you roll a die to determine a situation and then decide secretly to lie to your players and say something else happened, there really is no way to get around that. That's a lie. You're lying. DD is on in 15 minutes. What? Well, then get in here for 15 minutes, asshole. I looked, I didn't see it. But anywho, so yeah. And if anyone's got other opinions or if they just want to agree with me, I'll take both because I love people agreeing with me for sure. I mean, who doesn't, right? Who doesn't love being agreed with? This is going to be a short live stream, apparently. Because, yes, of course, I'm going to go watch DD. Also, I'm going to try and talk my brother into, if he has it downloaded, loading up Valheim on his computer, and maybe we can figure out a way to get that, to have him join my server. That would be, I think, fun. Dude, you're not right.
Dude, I bought that game that you're talking about like 7 or 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Played it for about a week and decided that I just don't like it.
Do you know why? Because you probably didn't know anything about it. I mean, there's like the big monsters you eventually have to fight, and as you fight them, that it opens up more and more tech, and you can build Viking ships, and the world is absolutely massive. There's raids and all kinds of stuff, and if you were to make a character and get in touch with me, I could give you like the server name and everything of the server I'm on. And you could join me. I mean, just a little bit. I'm not trying to talk you out of Conan, but you could roll in and be like, hey, what up? Check out my A-frame, kill some monsters, whatever, Or not. No freaking stress. I'm primering these slave girls that 3D printed.
Nice.
Yeah, they're in chains and all. I could have went for the nude ones, but I decided my tabletop needs to be family friendly. I've got young people sometimes that play.
Yeah.
But I 3D printed them specifically for a reason, so we'll see. We'll see. But how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
What is your opinion about the title of this stream?
People who fudge dice are just stupid.
Well, I mean, you can call anyone stupid, but that's not what the title of the stream is. The title of the stream is the contention that
fudging dice is
fudge dice, you're actually lying.
Yeah.
And as we all know, if you're a secularist, well, we can agree, even if you're the most hardcore atheist on the planet, I think we can all agree that lying is just cowardly.
Yeah, you shouldn't fudge dice.
And if you're religious, regardless of which religious tradition you're a member of, there is, I'm pretty sure all the ones I know of, you're definitely not a mensch if you go around lying. So, um, Christianity, of course, lying is a big no no, but I'm pretty sure it's a big no no in other religions too, whether it's Buddhism or whatever. I mean, if you're righteous and you're, pure of heart and everything, why would you lie? And then, okay, in your opinion though, because I got you for 10 minutes and I'm going to be on top of it while I got you. Because I love having you on to interview you and ask you questions when you're not actively trying to, derail whatever my thoughts are, even though you're super easy at that. Oh, I've lost him too. Oh my God. I was getting ready to ask him the big question too. If he's still watching, um, yeah, my big question is to Hungar is how does, like, I just want to ask him more about his favorite games and how does, what does he think fudging dice? Yeah, he does that. But where he lives in Tennessee, he's got sketchy, like it's like if 3 drops of rain fall on his house, his internet gets sketchy as hell. You know what I mean? But yeah, trying to talk him into playing Valheim with me, but he said he played it and don't like it. So if he really don't like it, then he ain't got to play it. I'm not going to try and force somebody. Um, I refuse the idea of electric vehicles for an incredibly weird, insane, paranoid reason. Andre, if I think not your echo, aren't you Andre? Um, my buddy in Russia, or no? Because I know you sometimes greet me in Russian, and I never know. People change your names so much. The only one who keeps the same name all the time has been Bubba. But
And me.
and well, Hungar used to be a different before you came up with the Starvarian when you were in the hospital. But
Yeah,
hey,
was
there's Leth. We'll see what Leth's opinion is. So Hungar, what do
my
you
phone shut
think?
down.
Your phone shutting down?
Yeah, I've got a piece on like you do.
Well, I'll talk to you later. I'll get Leth in here and we'll question him. Also, remind me when Double D starts.
Hey.
What is up, Leth?
Oh, not much.
The king of the Morlocks. Oh yeah, I posted in our private chat for D&D. You live in Russia. Yeah, me and my wife were going to take a vacation to St. Petersburg, Moscow, the whole 9 yards to tour the cathedrals. And then, of course, I don't blame Russia for what happened. So, yeah, Bleecker, it's time. Everyone else has been. I mean, and I'm guilty. I'm a big hypocrite. I've changed my name probably a million times. So, Leth, how do you feel about? I know you mostly play, you don't run games. As a player, how would you take it if you caught your DM for a fact fudging dice?
I wouldn't like it so much. I'd rather them roll in the open and we know what happens.
Right? That's okay. That's the answer I like. But now comes the little kid question. You know what the little kid question is?
What's that?
Why?
Simple. If the DM's gonna fudge, it just means that the most likely won't let you die, and it's not fun if there's no consequence.
Right. You're wasting your time. Basically, you're sitting there letting the DM uh, changing your name to Hungar. I am inflexible. I am constant. Hey, that's a good thing. I too am a zealot, but I'm not inflexible. Um, I will change my opinions as I gain more information. However, yeah,
I'm
that's
not
absolutely
inflecting.
the thing.
I'm just
It's
crazy.
just not fun to play role playing games if you know that there's no consequence to it.
Kind of
I
my
mean,
biggest issue with fifth edition, for the most part, it's like there. It's so hard to die in that. Like you'd really have to royally screw up to die, or just be super unlucky at one moment.
right. See, what trips me out is there are actual so-called DMs you can find on YouTube that will talk about how sometimes you should fudge dice. And because I think a lot about things,
Hey, Doc's in there.
I see that. I see that. I gotta get him in. It's been a while, even though we're only going to be gone for a little bit.
Hey, what's going on, gents?
He's getting ready to go on before long. And I've been painting. I've been primering like 50 of these pig-faced orcs.
Oh,
Is
I
this
hand
for Trench Crusade?
Flamingo's going.
Huh?
Is this for Trench Crusade?
Pig-faced orcs? No, it's for
Oh.
my OSE game.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I have a feeling that in the very near future, the players might encounter a ton of orcs.
Well, James, here's something a little bit off topic, but guess what? I just unlocked in War Thunder
What?
the A7V.
Okay, now we'll get back on topic.
Okay.
Got your intruder though. Good job. So I have been off topic, but just one statement. I've been playing a game called Valheim.
I played
It was
that.
on
It's
sale
kinda
this weekend for $9, and you play, I guess, the spirit of a dead Viking in Valheim, and it's basically Minecraft with better graphics.
Interesting.
yeah.
Vikings.
I always
Like you
thought
can
of it.
build an actual long ship. It looks like a long ship and sell it around.
I
And
always
other
thought of it
people
more like
can join your server to help you
Yeah.
out, but then the monsters get tougher.
I always thought of it like Ark without the dinosaurs.
Yeah, well, Ark is like Minecraft, but with really great graphics and dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So, Doc Flamingo, my good man, you saw the title. What is your thoughts as a DM and player on dice fudging?
Don't do it. If you need a specific thing to happen, if you need a result, and sometimes you do, you rule, you don't roll.
Yeah, you roll it out.
That is great advice, because if you just make the ruling, you are in no way jeopardizing player trust, and also it means you're not lying. Because from a purely moralistic point of view, if you fudge dice, you are telling lies. And as men, we shouldn't be telling lies to our players.
Yeah. I mean, I'll sometimes make fake dice rolls that don't mean anything just to like make them nervous.
Oh yeah,
You don't do that,
that's
but
just playing with your dice. I do.
yeah,
that.
but like if I need these guys to get through this door. So
Right,
you
right.
open the door. I'm not
It's
gonna like
exactly, if the players are trying to beat their way through a door with a two-handed axe, I'm going to roll on wandering monsters, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm
And
not.
also, yeah.
I'm going to let them eventually do it.
And you can always use the fail forward method.
Right.
Okay, you screwed the roll up. We need this to advance so it works, but something bad happens on top of it.
Right.
You don't fall off the cliff to your death, but you just dropped your pack.
Off the
So now
cliff.
you're out all that
No.
stuff like you can do stuff like that.
Here's the thing. I know an easy way to get through an enemy, a door of an enemy group. Just
Yeah,
knock on
see,
it.
I get that, but that's just not how D&D works, Echo. That's just not how it works. It's not meant to be a story that the player is telling or the DM is telling. It's meant to be a story that the character's choices created.
Ooh, DM Beelzebub says that falling forward is as bad as fudging dice.
I don't know.
I don't agree
I
at
don't
all.
know. I think there could be a place in that. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of times when I played D&D that I would much rather just fell off the cliff than lose my pack.
Fair, and I would say maybe
the
use
cliff,
it sparingly. That way, I just say
Plus,
use
you
it
don't know
sparingly.
what's down at the bottom of the cliff.
Yeah.
Wandering monster, there's a freaking Rimmeraz waiting down
And that doesn't mean they're always going to get what they're trying to do under any circumstances. It's just sometimes you want to move things along
Well,
or get
see,
to a
I
certain
don't
point,
worry about
as
that.
opposed to
But
cheating. Just give a consequence instead.
right, I don't worry about that. I don't want to move things along. The players do what they want, and then they get what they get.
I
Of
don't
course,
agree
the
with what Don
Joker,
Jericho's saying
you
right
get
there
what you
either.
up and deserve. Right?
Randomness of dice rolls can actually make it more fun and make it more interesting.
But yeah, felling sometimes is the most interesting part of the game. But the thing you said about if it's something that you really want to happen, just don't roll. Just make a ruling on it. That's not bad DM advice.
No.
Because again, the point that I'm making here is if you're fudging dice, you're lying. Don't lie. It's bad.
And it takes all the air out of the game because they're now like, okay, this doesn't.
Oh,
really
especially if the players catch you.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, none of this actually means anything.
That was Lett's point, which was a brilliant point when I asked him about it, which I think we can all agree on. If you're playing a game that you can't lose, my great repentance is my castle. You got a castle, Grayskull. I was raised a poor orc child. Who is that? That's somebody that changed their damn name.
Yeah, I forget who it was.
It's not Cal, is it? Because if it is Cal, I miss Cal. It felt more personal, like I knew him. And so Double D is getting ready to come on. So we're going to end it because I got to go over there. But before you leave, raised a poor orc child, this could be your dad. And I'll get him painted up.
I'm still out for cigarettes.
And thank you for letting us know. Yeah, guys, I'm really sorry. The stream is going to be 17 minutes long.
Oh, that's fine.
I forgot what day it was.
Wednesday.
Yeah, and I always watch Double D because it is Cal. I miss Cal. Cal was so personal. It was like I knew you. You're the old dude that lives in North California, etc. But hopefully, I'll see you guys over at Double D's. We'll see what he's got going on.
Yeah, I'll be there.
And who knows? Maybe later tonight, if I stay wired up, I'll stream after he gets done.
Yeah, my game got canceled tonight, so I'll be around.
Now.
So, peace and love.
Yeah.
Mingo, we need to hang out more.
Absolutely.
Janet, we're going to watch Double D. You should join us. And Leth, always a pleasure, dude. You're like the guy that sits on the couch to my Conan O'Brien.
That's pretty accurate nap.
What's his name? I forget. It's like Adam or
Andy Richter, is it? I think.
Yeah, but Leth is mine.
Oh,
You know, it's like he might scoot down a little bit when someone else comes on, but don't ban us. Cal, you can't.
I'll
you
see.
can ban me, Cal, but then I'll call Double D on the phone and be like, WTF? And he'll be like, I'm banning. What's wrong with you? I love that guy. Anyway, peace and love, guys.
Later. See you over there.
See you over there. We will touch on this topic